Hello everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Pulse Pods. You're listening to your host DJ El Pablo. Are you trying to find true meaning to life and living? Then you are at the right place. Welcome to Pulse Pods. Listen and gain something new today. Thank you.
I'm blinded by your grace. I'm blinded by your grace, by your grace. I'm blinded by your grace. I'm blinded by your Lord, I've been broken. Although I'm not worthy, you fix me. I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me, Lord.
Hey everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Pulse Pods. It's your man DJ Pablo. I just want to thank you for listening in, and that was actually Blinded by Your Grace by Stormzy, a guy I like so much, and this song has just been on my mind, so I thought to share with you guys. So basically, I just want to apologize as well for being away for too long. It's been a while since we last recorded, and a lot has been going on live and all, and things that are going on in the news, so I felt like no, this wasn't the right time to share or record an episode. So I was trying to deal with it in my mind and stuff, but then a whole lot going on. But thank you so much for following through to episode 28, and I think by God's grace, episode 29 will be featuring someone to review the 5 love languages. And she's a good friend of mine. And I just thought having a conversation with her. And also, I have a surprise. I'm going to be reviewing some of your comments since the series started. So I have them on ready. And I have one very interesting comment that I had based on a conversation I had with a friend. And I would like to share it, but we'll do that when we're reviewing the podcast episode, the series. So thank you very much for listening so far, and welcome again to episode 28. Also, I want to wish you a happy new month. This is the second half of the year, and I believe that all things you set out to do, you can still do them. You have another chance. Nothing stops you, and I would always say this: you are your only limitation. So take this with you and run. God bless your heart. So we move. So basically, the 5 love languages, like I will always say, these are very, very insightful things, and based on a book by Dr. Gary Chapman. And we are at number 5, words of affirmation. But before we delve in, I need to make you understand that, especially in the previous series, in the previous episodes, what I was saying, that the whole concept of the 5 love languages is a very interesting topic, and most people tend to easily misunderstand this, and it means that they are prone to making life mistakes in their relationships. Falling in love is easy, but staying in love is a challenge. Or for I would say staying in love is a different ball game. So how can you keep your relationship fresh and growing amid the demands, the conflicts, and just the plain boredom of everyday life? Now, the 5 love languages is as practical as it is insightful. And Dr. Gary Chapman wrote Dr. Gary Chapman, who wrote the New York Times bestseller, The 5 Love Languages, said that you will discover the secret that has transformed millions of relationships worldwide in his book. Now, whether the relationship is flourishing or falling, Dr. Gary Chapman's approach to showing and receiving love will help you experience deeper and richer levels of intimacy with your spouse. Now, relationships or marriages are not meant only for sex or touching. One of the major aims of a relationship should be companionship. Now, can you have a conversation with your partner, keep it going, and maintain a certain level of intelligence in the conversation without judgments or fear of expression or even walking on eggshells? Right? Now, how about the banter? Can you and your partner have a perfect blend of banter in your conversations without anyone feeling offended or judged at any point? Can you open up to your partner without holding back? Do you trust them enough to tell them about the deepest pasts of yours or secrets? Now, actions speak louder than words. This is an old idiom dating back to 1692. Now, this idiom is found in a literature, and the interesting and meaningful statement was first seen in Gershom Berkeley's book titled Will and Doom. Now, how about what he said? He said that actions are more significant than words. But my question is, what if your partner's love language is words of affirmation? Now, I'll say that in this case, words mean everything to your partner, whether written or spoken. It is of great importance to them. Now, here, your words speak volumes to them, no matter how minute. That's why I brought up that actions are more significant than words. But in this situation, the reverse is the case. Words are more significant because they mean a lot to your partner. Now, most likely, your partner would especially appreciate compliments, heartfelt thank yous, handwritten notes, and hearing what they mean to others. Now, words of affirmation, according to Dr. Gary Chapman, is the only love language that involves verbal expressions of love. All the others are centered around actions. Example, acts of service, actions. Gifts, actions. Quality time, actions. Physical touch, actions. But words of affirmation is a unique love language of the 5. Now, by definition, if you have not gotten that already, words of affirmation are words that communicate your love, appreciation, and respect for another person. Now, they are positive words and phrases that uplift, confirm, and empathize a person or your partner in a positive manner. Most times, you don't have to speak them. You could send a simple text or even write a short note, and it would be more appreciated than a phone call. People who give and receive love via words of affirmation tend to be people who notice and care about the details of other people's lives. Now, for example, a new shirt, a dress, or hairstyle, or even a certain glow, or maybe a new fragrance or perfume. I could give you so many examples of words of affirmation, but something as simple as I love you can mean the world to your spouse or partner. Now, I have a story. It's a very funny story anyway, but I have a story to back this up from my experience. Now, once upon a time, my partner and I were having a conversation, and she had just wanted me to say, I love you. The 3 words, I love you. And as a man, being a naturally logical being, I wanted to explain. So I said, babe, I must not tell you that I love you before you know that I love you. You already know that I do. I just want to be able to tell you that I love you because I mean it and not because you asked me to. That led to something else that I want to go into, go deep into. But after some pondering, I watched a video by Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo on Facebook. On YouTube, and he mentioned the difference between how men think and how women think, and he said that men think with their heads and minds, while women think, which means that men are logical, while women think with their hearts and emotions, which means women are emotional beings. And as it is with me, naturally, when I think about things, I especially when it comes to having a misunderstanding with my spouse, I basically, take myself out of the situation and look at it from a broader perspective before I approach. But I thought to myself, and I was like, at the time, my spouse asked me to say these words. I was not being sensitive to the fact that she wanted to hear it at that time. And it doesn't matter whether I meant it or not, but the fact that my words meant a lot to her was what was most important. After all, I loved her anyways. So I went back and apologized and vowed never to explain myself again. And if she wants to hear it, I'd say it. It would feed her emotions at any time. And that's what words of affirmation means. That's words of affirmation at work. feeding her emotions. We'll talk about something called filling the love tank, So that was what actually my words would do, or that's what your words should do to your partner. Uplift them, fill up their love tank, replenish, renew. So other words you could say could include stuff like, you're special to me, after all this time, I'm still crazy about you, stuff like that. I couldn't have done blah, blah, blah without you. Or did I tell you how grateful I am that you're my partner, or you're my wife, or you're my husband, or you're my spouse? I really love the new outfit. It looks good on you. Oh, yellow brings out the glow, stuff like that. Thank you for choosing me. Or you're doing such a great job and I'm proud of you. You're doing so great and I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I am honored to be your partner. You are amazing. You are the best. Your support means a lot to me. Your support means more than the world to me. Stuff like that. They may not mean so much to you. I mean the words, but to your partner, these words are everything and more to them. Stuff like, oh, you are an inspiration to me, or you are an inspiration to the kids, or it makes my heart melt watching how you take good care of blah, blah, blah. Or good care of the kids. Oh, I'm so proud of you for always trying your best at this. Oh, I find you attractive and gorgeous always. Or thank you very much for making me feel safe and loved. Stuff like that. Your words could be just a trigger that your partner needs for that smile and a calm feeling within them. By using words of affirmation, you can strengthen a deeper form of communication between you and your partner by showing them that you notice and appreciate them. Dr. Gary Chapman said, and I quote, appreciation is the inner sense that your partner values your concentration. Is that inner sense that your partner values your contribution to the relationship. He also said that at the heart of mankind's existence lies the desire to be intimate and to be loved by one another. Marriage is designed to meet that need for intimacy and love. He also said, all of us blossom when we feel loved and wither when we do not feel loved. Now, he also said, furthermore, if we are to develop intimate relationships, we need to know each other's desires. And if we wish to love each other, we need to know what the other person wants. Life's deepest meaning is not found in the accomplishments, but in relationships. Love is a choice we make every day. That's what Dr. Gary Chapman said. No, love is always freely given. Love cannot be demanded. We can actually request for things of each other, but we must never demand anything. Requests give direction to love, but demands stop the flow of love. Now, receiving words of affirmation, I could go on and on, but the point is that if you need to be deliberate about loving your spouse, you need to make a conscious effort. You need to make a conscious effort to show them by expressing it verbally. Now, receiving words of affirmation can make a person feel a greater sense of love, self-worth, and motivation. Offering an encouraging word to your partner can have a positive impact on you as well, right? For me, it makes me feel a greater sense of responsibility for my partner. Now, even the Bible in Proverbs chapter 16 verse 24 said, kind words are like honey, sweet to the taste and good for your health. So what more do you need? Use words of affirmation for your partner and you would see that it is good for the health of your relationship and for both of you, right? So how to ask for words of affirmation? You might be wondering how you want to get your partner, or you might wonder how you want to get your partner to express words of affirmation more often or anything. Now, one thing you must do is let your partner know when they offer you words of affirmation. Let them know how the words make you feel. Obviously, it should make you feel good, right? But let them know. Try saying stuff like, oh, I always love it when you tell me how much you love me. Or it makes me feel good when you say that. Or stuff like that. Especially when they make a very good comment. right? Now, when you respond with gratitude, your partner will likely be encouraged to continue with the offer of words of affirmation. You could even have a conversation with your partner about the 5 love languages. Read the book or just share this podcast with them. Discuss about each other's preferred love language. You can also make learning about the love language more fun and intimate as a way to initiate a conversation about how good it makes you both feel, or what makes both of you feel good about how you express your love to each other. There are so many ways you can actually, express or talk about these words of affirmation. Now, are you dating someone whose love language is words of affirmation? These are things you can do. There are so many things you can do, but I'm going to just mention a few. Number one, you should express it as much as you can. If you see a moment to encourage them, go for it. They need it. Dr. Gary Chapman calls it filling, like I said initially, filling their love tank, or in some way increasing their love appetite by refueling them with words of affirmation is just the right fuel. Right? Words of affirmation is just the right fuel to increase your partner's love appetite. Now, they will be overflowing with gratitude, and they will approach the relationship from an expansive perspective where they feel really supported and loved. Number 2, you can write them out. It is one of the easiest ways to express words of affirmation, written words, texts, and the likes. It gives you time to actually measure out your words in an impactful way. The act of crafting a highly specific and personalized message matters a lot more than repeating a line you heard from a movie or copying and pasting a poem you found online. This act could actually be valued infinitely by your spouse, right? If you write them down. Number 3, you could slow down and choose your words wisely because they are everything and mean everything to your partner. Be more constructive, and no matter how negative or positive it may be more constructive so that when they listen, they will not be defensive. Number 4, you should be authentic and just be yourself, right? If they chose you, then it means that they really love you and they appreciate who you are. Don't break a sweat. If you don't have the right words, you can actually think of so many things you appreciate about them and just tell them. Even if it doesn't come naturally to you, just pay attention to the little details that resonate with your partner and some of the things that your partner responds to. It is very, very important. Now, you should know what words, number 5, you should know what words your partner likes the most, right? Again, pay attention to the little details about your partner and what they are about, right? Make a deliberate attempt to know the kinds of statements that they would prefer, maybe regarding their appearance, or even if they would prefer to be celebrated for their contribution, or even if they want more acknowledgement on a daily basis. It is important that you do not generalize it, as I have come to realize for a couple of years now that from experience that no spouse is the same. No matter how many you date, no spouse is the same, right? In marriage specifically, you need to realize that your spouse will evolve over time, and you need to understand their evolution and work with them. You too would evolve. So if everybody plays their role, words of affirmation or even expressing the 5 love languages would not be difficult. Number 6, you should think outside the box. Yes, time has passed, right? Things have happened, right? But it is paramount that the evolution of your relationship, that with the evolution of your relationship with your spouse or partner, that you think outside the box. For example, you could use post-it notes, right, on a mirror, or even send them a sweet text, or write them a silly love song, right? It will make them more appreciative of the effort to appease their desire or to feel their love tank, right? There are other innovative and creative ways to express words of affirmation, like hiding clues that would lead to other clues or something. I have one idea which I would try out with my spouse. I tried something recently. I like asking deep, questions. So I tried something recently, like asking a deep question and some silly questions also with it that could trigger some sort of emotional expression of words of appreciation. And you could just, thank them for being in your life, and it would trigger them to feel very much appreciated and accepted and ultimately loved. So there are so many ways you could actually express words of affirmation to your partner, and it will mean the world to them. But in summary, words of affirmation, how to communicate, it would be that you'd encourage your partner, affirm, appreciate, empathize, and listen actively. Like I said, pay attention to the little details. Some of the actions to take would be, for example, send an unexpected note, text, or card. Encourage them genuinely and often. And some of the things to avoid would be non-constructive criticism, not recognizing or appreciating effort. I could go on and on and on, but the truth is, it all boils down to you making a deliberate attempt to show your partner, whose love language is words of affirmation, that you truly love them through verbal expression of love. I just want to thank you for listening to this podcast episode. We have discovered a new way in which people can actually share their opinions and comments, apart from just, typing it back out as a text on WhatsApp or something. So you could actually, there is a note section in the Linktree link that would be sent alongside the link where you can listen to the podcast. So what you should do is when you go to that section, just type in what you'd like to type in the as your comment. So you see it at the top of the link as comments, questions, and more. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, just put them there. And also there is the subscribe at the top right hand corner of your screen. So just click that so that whenever a new episode comes out, you just get a notification and it directs you straight to the link where the episode comes up. So just do that, and I would look forward to reading out your comments. I look forward to reading out your questions. I look forward to reading out anything that you'd send. Even if you need ideas about how to express words of affirmation, I would be well and able to send you some of my ideas that you could actually evolve or be innovative enough to try it out with your spouse or partner. But thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to hearing back feedback from you. I look forward to getting comments, texts, and questions about what you've learned so far. Next episode, we're going to feature a friend of mine who I would be discussing and reviewing the words of affirmation, not the words of affirmation, basically all of the 5 love languages as a summary, and reading some of your comments as well, and then breaking it down. If you'd not like me to read your comments, you could let me know as well. But thank you very much for listening, and God bless your heart. I'll leave you with this. Make sure you try to sow a good seed in the lives of people around you and not a bad seed. God bless your heart. See you on the next one. Thank you for listening to Pulse Pods today. We hope you've learned something valuable to help with your daily life and living. Pulse Pods is on social media, and you can literally find Pulse Pods on every social media platform where it is. Just simply search at Pulse Pods on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And you could also send an email to pulsepods@gmail.com for any advert, questions, suggestions, or sponsorship. And also subscribe to Pulse Pods on all of the platforms where you find your podcasts, ranging from Spotify to Google Podcasts to Anchor, and anywhere you find a podcast, Castbox, Beta Radio, Breaker Radio, any platform whatsoever, Apple Podcasts, and just subscribe and listen, and God bless your heart.